guys, it's Morgan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, there will be spoilers in this review, so stop watching if you don't want to be spoiled. So, here's my review for the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. After Adam Warlock wounded Rocket and the Guardians weren't able to heal him because he had a kill switch embedded in him, I was really worried that Rocket was going to die. And for a moment, it looked like he did. But luckily, he didn't. It was also really emotional when Nebula started crying when she heard Rocket's voice, since she's never shown emotion like that before. It makes sense why Nebula would be happy when she found out that Rocket was alive, since when Thanos snapped, Nebula and Rocket were the only two Guardians who weren't dusted, so they would have bonded during that time. Seeing Rocket's backstory was really heartbreaking. The only thing that I liked was seeing him become friends with Lila, Teefs, and Floor. I really loved the scene when they were deciding what their names were going to be. Something that I thought was going to happen is that Rocket, Lila, Teefs, and Floor were going to escape the High Evolutionary, but then they would have to separate for some reason, but then would be reunited later on sometime in this movie. But that is not what happened at all. Right before they were about to escape, Lila, Teefs, and Floor were killed, and only Rocket escaped. I already wasn't a fan of the High Evolutionary, but after I saw that, I couldn't wait to see him get what he deserved, and I was not disappointed. I really loved when Rocket reunited with the High Evolutionary, and he told him that his name was Rocket Raccoon. I did feel sorry for Quill when he reunited with the alternate Gamora, since he was still grieving the loss of the Gamora that he knew. But I was really glad that this Gamora didn't end up falling in love with Quill and decide to stay with the Guardians, since this Gamora belonged with the Ravagers. I also thought it was pretty funny to see how Quill and this Gamora would do things differently. Quill would try to talk his way into getting what he wants, and Gamora would just threaten to kill people to get what she wants. I thought the way the two left things was perfect. It was pretty funny how Nebula and Mantis reacted when they realized that Drax could communicate with the children on the high evolutionary ship the whole time. And when Nebula asked him why he didn't tell them that he spoke the children's language, Drax asked her why she didn't ask. I also really loved when Nebula told Drax that he wasn't meant to be a destroyer, he was meant to be a dad. Even though it wasn't a main storyline, I really liked seeing Kraglin try and master Yondu's arrow. And it was also really emotional when he saw Yondu before he finally mastered it. I also had a feeling that the storyline with Cosmo trying to get Kraglin to take back calling her a bad dog would end with Cosmo doing something that would make Kraglin call her a good dog. And I was right. It was really cute seeing Cosmo lick Kraglin when he called her a good dog. When it looked like Quill died, I knew that Adam was going to save him. Since when Groot saved Adam, and Adam asked him why he saved him, since Adam tried to kill Groot and the rest of the Guardians, Drax translated for Groot and said, "Everyone deserves a second chance." So it was obvious that Adam was going to do something to prove he deserved a second chance. It was also really funny when everyone was hugging Quill and Adam awkwardly joined the hug. It was really sad to see the Guardians saying goodbye to each other, but I really loved that Quill made Rocket the new leader. And I also really loved that we as an audience could finally understand Groot, and we heard him say, "I love you guys." I had a feeling that Quill would end up leaving the Guardians, but I was surprised that Mantis did too. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I'm hoping in the future we'll find out where Mantis ends up going. It was also really sad to see how Drax reacted to Mantis leaving. No matter what he says about her, he's still going to miss her. I mean, he even volunteered to go with her when she told everyone that she was leaving. Even though this lineup of the Guardians is over, I was glad that we got to see the new lineup in the mid-credit scene. And they are Rocket, Groot, Cosmo, Kraglin, Adam, Blurp, who's Adam's pet, and Phyla, who's one of the kids that they saved. I don't know if it'll happen, and if it does, it probably won't be for a while, but I hope we get to see more of the new Guardians. When Mantis was talking to Quill about the fact that his grandfather was still on Earth, and that Quill hasn't gone back to see him after all these years, I knew that the movie would end with Quill seeing his grandfather. And that scene was really emotional. I also really loved that Quill's grandfather hasn't seen Quill since he was 8 years old, but the second he saw him, he recognized him. It was also really nice that the after credit scene was Quill and his grandfather having breakfast together. Something I didn't notice when I saw the movie, but saw online later, the newspaper that Quill's grandfather is reading, the front page is an article about Kevin Bacon being abducted by aliens. So it looks like Kevin Bacon talked about what happened to him in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Also, since it said the legendary Star-Lord will return, it looks like we'll see Quill in a future MCU movie. Unless there's someone else who will take up the name Star-Lord. Thanks for watching, guys! If you saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And if you want to see any of my future videos, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!